We are back on the Morning Brew with friends, and we're having fun this morning. Commissioner Wayne Johnson from Bernalillo County is joining us this morning, and Sean Perry Turner from Bernalillo County's Economic Development Department. And you guys have a big thing coming up, a new summit talking about grant writing for nonprofits.
Absolutely.
That sounds like fun. I know there's a lot of nonprofits. Was there more nonprofits in Albuquerque per capita than any other city in the Southwest, if I remember right?
There are a lot of them. I don't know where
Right.
we stand as far as the other cities go, but there are a lot of them out there.
Mm-hmm. And they all need help writing grants, getting all this stuff done. So what are you guys hoping to teach and get across to a lot of people that are going to the event coming up?
Well, one of the things that came out of this is, last year when we had our social services issue that came up,
Right.
we're trying to really get some accountability into our system for these grants. But it also came out that a lot of the grants weren't that well written. And
is that one of the reasons why we weren't getting a lot of the money that we were hoping to get?
Well, it's not where the money came from, but
Yeah.
that's the reason some of the money went places that it traditionally hadn't gone, is because some of the folks that had applied just did not score well on their grant writing.
And this is stuff, I know that the commission has made a big deal of mental health issues and helping with that. Is that part of this?
Well, that's a side issue. I mean, some of the providers may be providing mental health, but that's a little different. This is our traditional social services grant process.
Okay.
Now, we did change
And
it
when
last
we think
year.
about social services grants, I mean, what kinds of nonprofits are those?
They could be anything.
Is
I
that
mean,
the
whether
food
it's
bank?
after
Is that
school,
the-
food. Well, it could be food bank. It could be YDI. It could be a lot of the different programs that go on throughout the city and the county.
Okay. So you're hoping to just basically, is this the kind of thing, I'm assuming it's not helping with basic punctuation and writing sentences,
No,
but it's beyond that. It's more like...
Well, grant writing is an art. I mean,
is.
It really is an art.
Absolutely
And
is.
A lot of people actually employ grant writers to
Professional
write their
grant
grants.
writers,
A lot of the nonprofits don't have that type of resource. So what we try and do is, or the idea behind this is teaching somebody to fish as opposed to just giving them the fish.
Right.
And the county never really had until last year a real accountable method for determining who got the grants.
Oh, really?
And that's what we imposed last year. It caused a lot of strife. And when I was talking to one of the applicants who didn't receive a grant last year, I said, look, what we ought to do is be teaching you how to get these grants, because frankly, each funder is not going to be available or able to fund you every year. So what you need to be is the best you can be in front of each potential funder to help spread the potential resources for your organization. So I wanted to teach them how to do it.
Very cool.
And make them as effective as possible.
So you're bringing in professional grant writing coaches?
And yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're also going to have a funding fair. So we'll have 4 different funders. The city of Albuquerque hopefully will be there, as well as Bernalillo County, and we'll be talking about what we're looking for in our grants.
Very cool.
They'll have an opportunity to meet them.
Very cool. You don't know off the top of your head how much money the county gives to these kinds of groups, do you?
Well, after last Tuesday's meeting, it'll be somewhere around $1.1 million,
That's
a
very
little
cool.
over $1 million.
Very cool. And all the commissioners got together around some of these nonprofit stuff on Tuesday night, right?
Well, yeah, that was a bit of a.
I think that was
a bit of a
interesting.
fight over that.
I thought that
We'd
was really
had some
interesting.
discretionary funds that that each commissioner kind of directed themselves. We call them district-directed funds.
Right, much like how you think of capital outlay at the state level.
Yeah, or the counselors have $1 million in capital that they can kind of direct within their districts, and that's been going on for about 4 years. What was happening this year is, and last year for the first time, it wasn't being funded from carryover dollars from last year.
Oh,
it
was
was
it
being
going through
funded
bonding?
out of the budget.
Okay.
And I didn't feel real comfortable about continuing that process. It really should be a reward for our fiscal responsibility, and we're in a tight budget situation. We're asking everybody to cut by 10%. So I wanted to strike those dollars completely. Commissioner Stebbins added an amendment that took that $250,000, $50,000 per district, and moved it over to social services, which I could support, because again, it goes through an accountable system. So we're closer to where we were last year and the year before.
That's very cool. So you're saving money, but making sure that it's still going to the same place.
And we're sharing in the pain of the rest of the county, all of the departments, economic development. Everybody's been looking under the couch pillows for money.
We do that every day here at the Brew.
It's a good idea. You know?
Probably find
Unfortunately,
some,
And we'll take it to the county. So if you find it today, we're taking it to the county.
So you guys have made a big push towards economic development. Really, over the last 2 or 3 years, it's become much more of a thing.
Absolutely.
And we were talking a little bit about the IRB that you guys passed on Tuesday night. And that's, I guess, the best way to describe that at 7:15 in the morning is it's a deferred tax payment.
Right.
So, I mean, with that, what are you hoping to see from the new hotel that comes from that IRB?
Well, we're hoping to see a lot more investment by other hoteliers. We're hoping to see more tourism. Tourism is one of our major industries.
Right. It is what they call an economic-based job. That's one of those jobs that sees money come in from out of state, come to New Mexico, rather than us just spending our own local money.
Well, and you look at it like manufacturing. You're bringing dollars in.
Right.
It's new money.
It's
We're
all
not
new
just
money.
moving it around.
Right.
Tourism is the same way.
It's lodger's tax money. It's and then you get the return on investment comes through people visiting Old Town and spending new money at the shops there as well, right?
I think I saw ACVB luncheon. It was what, $69 million in taxes alone that come into our economy or into our governments here in Bernalillo County. So there's a lot of money that is out there. We're a unique place, and supporting ventures like this is really part of what we do at Bernalillo County.
Right, and I know that you guys are working with UNM and the city to support the new Innovate ABQ.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's the latest on your end on that? I know that there had been some struggles to find the funding from the county to put into that. I don't know if there's been any updates on that lately.
Well, at this point, we've deferred some of that payment per MOU, so all the partners are good with this. But we'll start contributing those dollars in FY17.
Oh, that'd be great, because I think the county committed about $1 million to help, and then you guys get to kind of decide where that goes. Innovate ABQ is a very cool thing, and for those that aren't up to speed on Innovate ABQ, that is the new, it's right there at the corner of Broadway and Central downtown. It's a 7.5 acre site that UNM, the county, the city, and the Center Credit Union are all working together on to make basically a business incubator.
And actually train people to be entrepreneurs before they even get out of college. I mean, I think it's one of the really good opportunities for somebody that wants to go into business and wants to be an entrepreneur to actually learn how not to fail by failing in a safe environment early. And maybe you get that early development of a business that comes right out of it and is successful. But most entrepreneurs fail first before they're successful.
Right. You got to learn how to basically run the whole thing.
And they usually don't make the same mistakes twice.
That's very true. Neither do politicians.
Well, no, we don't learn as easily as oftentimes entrepreneurs do.
And Sean, the grant workshop, it's what, May 29th?
Yes, it's May 29th on Friday from, and as it says right here, 8 to 1, and from the Center for Nonprofit Excellence, United Way, Sephora Nefesh will be our grant writing specialist.
Great. Free to sign up?
Absolutely free.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you guys on the 29th.
Excellent.
And we'll be back in a couple of seconds. I think we got people talking about spam on the Morning Brew with friends. Coming back with Theater Thursday.